What's going on YouTube? Crypto Business back at you with the next installment of the Crypto for Dummies. So today we're going to do Dash for Dummies. Since this is the eighth largest cryptocurrency in terms of market cap, I figured it'd be a good time to go over it. I also did another video kind of outlining why I thought it might be one of the next coins to be added to Coinbase. So you can check that one out when you got some time. Excuse me. Um, so basically, we'll just get right into it. Dash began its journey in 2014. Is currently the eighth largest cryptocurrency in the world. It's behind Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple. It's behind a few of them, and this will change daily. So you just kind of got to keep up to date with it. But how is it different from Bitcoin? What are its advantages? How much does it cost? What are the disadvantages? And we'll get into that here. So Dash is similar to Bitcoin in many ways. You can use it to make purchases online. You can hold it as an investment. It runs on a publicly disclosed blockchain that records every transaction. And that's very similar to all these other cryptocurrencies out there. But Bitcoin and a lot of these other currencies have their fair share of problems. Dash is definitely working to solve those. Speed is one of the first ones. Dash transactions are confirmed in about 4 seconds, while sending Bitcoin to somebody can take 10 minutes, an hour. I think it's more common that it's more or less like an hour now. But anyway, so Dash is clearly much quicker. The next is the fees. The average Bitcoin transaction fee is much higher than Dash. I think the fee last time I checked was like $8 or something to send some Bitcoin, and that's just written into the code. That's how much it costs. And Dash is quite a bit lower, something like 40 cents or so. So the fee will increase as more people start using the cryptocurrency, but it is definitely a lot cheaper to send Dash than it is to send Bitcoin. Another big problem with Bitcoin is it doesn't have a governance structure. This means important changes can't be made without a hard fork that brings a new cryptocurrency onto the market, which is basically what happened to Bitcoin Cash, right? They wanted to change a very significant part of the Bitcoin code and ended up they couldn't do it. Like there was no governance system, there was no voting system, and Bitcoin Cash had to break off and create its own coin. So Dash is a lot different in that sense, where it has a voting system in place so that important changes can be implemented quickly without these hard forks and stuff. So unlike Bitcoin, Dash is also self-funded, or self-funding, I should say. 45% of newly created Dash coins go to the miners. 45% of those created go to the master nodes, and the rest, the 10%, goes to a treasury for funding the development team, the marketing team, the customer support centers, and so forth. So there are a few differences between the two cryptocurrencies, but and like there's more, but those are just the major ones that I want to bring up in this video. So two of the biggest advantages of Dash are the speed and low fees that were mentioned earlier, but basically you can send money to anybody in the world for less than 40 cents in about 4 seconds. So there's no way you're going to be able to do that at a bank. There's really no way that you're going to be able to do that with Bitcoin, at least at this point in time, and the developers are working on fixing that. But that's something that really is a huge benefit from Dash. Another one that I didn't mention yet is the anonymous nature of this coin. So although transactions are public, you don't have to share your personal info like your name and address. This can also be a drawback because some people will say, "Oh, that's great for the bad like underworld of the internet, buying and selling illegal goods or whatever." But Dash, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies that provide the anonymous transactions have been used by criminal organizations, and the money can't really be traced back to them. But the problem is you can kind of trace back to Bitcoin, whereas with Dash, it becomes a lot more difficult, and I won't really get into that because it has more to do with the master nodes and a little bit more detail in the code. But I will go over the master nodes in a very, very basic sense. So the way you can think of a master node is like a savings account with a minimum deposit. And in Dash's case, you have to have 1,000 Dash coins in your Dash wallet. And basically, a traditional savings account at your bank will pay interest. And a masternode will reward those users who have 1,000 coins in their wallet, basically just like a bank rewards with interest. So the reward or interest from you being a masternode comes from performing the services for the network. So you're basically confirming the transactions on the blockchain, and you're benefiting with Dash coin. As I stated earlier, 45% of the coins created go to the masternodes, and 45% go to the miners, and then 10% goes to the general fund. So the big difference between a traditional savings account and a masternode is that your initial deposit never leaves your possession. So with a bank, you deposit $1,000 into the bank. The bank now has your money, and you have no real control over it. You don't really know what they're doing with it, and I'll bet you they're loaning it out to other people for mortgages, or they're trading it in the stock market, or whatever they're doing with your money. You don't physically hold that money anymore. With Dash, when you're a masternode, you hold those 1,000 coins. You are now getting paid interest, and you can still use those 1,000 coins, and it doesn't affect you. Now, if you go below the 1,000 coins, you're no longer a masternode, and you will no longer receive the 45% benefit. So with that, I think that's going to do it for the Dash for Dummies. There are some things to think about. You guys can kind of get an idea of if you want to invest in Dash. This is not investment advice. This is just a very quick, brief overview on what Dash is. So with that, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Did I miss anything? If I did, I'm more than willing to do another video more in depth on something you guys think I missed. But with that, have a good one. I'll see you in the next Cryptocurrency for Dummies video.